Yeah, baby. Welcome to the No More Heroin Survivor Series. I'm your host, Higgy. The Survivor Series is an original product of No More Heroin, and we showcase inspirational testimonies of people who have overcome seemingly insurmountable odds to have and live a life of purpose and destiny. And tonight is no exception. I am honored to feature my good friend Randall Ellis, also known as Silas Botwin, the rap artist. I'm going to play one of his songs off his playlist, off his recently dropped CD, Soul Intentions. This song is called A While Now. I really dig this. Please comment where you're from. If you like this, let us know.
I've been grinding for a while now. People keep on saying I should slow down. I'm just too mean and I'm a wild out. I'm a Capricorn and won't conform for nothing. No, I've been grinding for a while now. People keep on saying I should slow down. I'm just too mean and I'm a wild out. I'm a Capricorn and won't conform for nothing. No. 1987, my mama birthed the legend, steady rapping my nigga, Jesse James descended. Yes, I came to finish in the game of scrimmage, and my heart about to burst cause I got pain up in it. You insane for thinking Silas ever came with limits. Set my goals so fucking high, you need a crane to get them. Pushing up, but I ain't changing with it. And whoever said I'm out here for the fame is fibbing. Chains of prison, in my brain a prison. Proud to say I live a life I'm not ashamed of living. I ain't playing, I'm just swinging in my lane, I'm driven. 2020 in the world ain't got no goddamn vision. I'm a proof report with every single thing I'm spitting. If you can't slow me down, you better change the mission. Put your cell phone down, bitch, and pay attention. Yeah, I pray to talk to God, but then I meditate to listen. I've been grinding for a while now. And I should slow down. I'm just too mean and I'm a wild out. I'm a Capricorn who won't conform for nothing. No, I've been grinding for a while now. People saying I should slow down. I'm just too mean and I'm a wild out. I'm a Capricorn who won't conform for nothing. No. Slow down.
Soul Intentions. Available on iTunes. Where else?
iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, Amazon, all of that stuff. That's
my man.
I have music on all platforms, bro.
That's awesome. You've been doing this for a while now, just like the song said. And
I have a little while, man.
You have been. You do a lot of battle raps. You do a lot of videos on your page. You know, whenever an idea comes in and you find a beat for it, you're in your car, you know, sharing it with the audience that loves your music. And you've been in recovery for a while. I've been following you for years, you know. And when the very first video I seen, you were in a parking garage. You had your vape sitting beside you, and you were just going off. I started following you at that time. It's been
I was in Dallas. I was in Dallas after a 90-day treatment, and I was outside of my IOP. I wrote that in treatment.
Funny how that works.
What's that?
Funny how that works, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did in that treatment center that time. Was I wrote a bunch of stuff. I didn't really get introduced to solution yet, you know.
Yeah. So, tell us about yourself. You know, start at the beginning. You know where you grew up. You're a Texas boy, right?
I am born and raised. Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Randall Ellis. That's my government. Randall Ellis. I'm a recovered alcoholic. That's how it was taught to me because I recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, or it's a little bit smaller town, a little south of there. It's called Burleson. But most people know where Fort Worth is at, so it's kind of what I claim. I'm 33 years old. I struggled with this shit for a long ass time, man. Half my life, you know. It started out, you know, real slow, real simple. Smoking a little weed, drinking, But years later, it got out of control, and it wasn't something that I could stop doing.
I can relate. I was trying to share this out a little bit for you.
Okay.
When did you first really start experimenting with drugs? At what age?
Yeah, I was 17 years old. I think 17 or 16 years old. At that age, I pretty much tried everything that there was. I remember the first time I ever changed the way I felt with anything, and it was alcohol. And I was at a party with a lot of older people, or I say older, I was young. And I remember going into the restroom, like after I had drank a few beers and looking at myself in the mirror and being like, this is fucking badass. Like I've arrived. I know who I am now. When I left that party that night, some of my friends were drinking, but I was the one that had my pockets filled with beer. I was trying to take the party home. It wasn't over, and I didn't know at that time, by any means what was going on exactly. But now looking back in hindsight, I understand that like once I put it in my body, it's completely on. Like I'm setting off the allergy, and we don't know when it's going to stop.
Absolutely. So when we're younger, a lot of people go to a party and go home. And they're okay for a while. We went home from a party and couldn't wait to do it again, no matter what the consequences were at that time.
Yeah, it's that obsession, man. That obsession is a bitch, dude. It's a great obsession of every alcoholic and addict is that one day, we'll be able to use like a normal person. You think all these consequences and stuff would do something for us, but not for the real deal alcoholic. I'm lucky that I got to go to a treatment center. I can shout them out on here or what?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I mean it's a place in Texas. It's called Brazos Recovery Services. And while you're there, you don't realize you're blessed to be there, but once you get out, you realize all the tools they gave you, all the stuff they taught you. You really see how blessed you are. I was lucky to go there and learn all the stuff I learned. Even though self-knowledge avails me nothing. You know what I mean? It's like I can know everything about working out, bro. But I don't just get swole just because I know how to work out.
Right.
It's the same thing, and it's the same thing in this deal. I can know everything in this book, everything about recovery. But if I don't incorporate it into my life, I will not stay recovered.
That's right. Recovery is an action word, I believe.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, it's a program.
My feet got to keep moving, dude.
So what are some of the? I want to throw this picture up again real quick. Tell me about this guy.
Dude, that guy was completely out of control.
Hat backwards, got his backpack on. He's going.
Got the drug dealer backpack on, bro.
Going
making moves, bro. I'm stacking my paper, bro. Grinding. Oh, yeah, dude, that's me, but it's not at the same time. That guy was full of fear, of prey, of misery and depression. Just my grandma used to tell me, or she told me a few times, she's like, "You're lost," And in my head, I was thinking like, I know exactly who I am and what I'm doing, But now, in hindsight, looking back, I was completely lost, dude. I had no idea. Of course, I knew bits and pieces of who I was and what I wanted to be, but in no way did it get to really shine to its fullest potential of like who I am, who I really am, what I'm capable of. That dude was full of fear.
Okay.
Full of shit as well.
Yeah. For anyone else at that age that may be struggling with identification and thinking that partying, hanging out with the people that are engaged in those activities, because not only do we do drugs, we do things that are against the law and cause us to have more consequences. Well, what would you say to the younger Randall today?
I mean, one of the biggest things that, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. You're playing Russian roulette. not exactly as far as like, I mean, obviously with me, I'm a heroin addict, so yeah, I'm playing Russian roulette every time I take a shot for sure. But as far as anybody who hasn't started using yet, it's still a gamble. You know what I mean? Because the way it was taught to me, and I used to not believe all this stuff, but now if it's in there, I believe it with everything. I've seen it play out in my life, but there's 3 types. We got 3. This is step 1 stuff. We got 3 types of users. You know, you have a moderate user, and that's somebody like maybe my mom or my dad. Like they'll have a drink at a wedding or a birthday party, you know, once or twice a year. A drink. The second they start to not feel right, they put it down and they don't want anything else to do with it, you know. And they can pick it up or put it down whenever they want. And then you have a hard user. Who the hard user really confused me for a long time. I tried to tell myself that that's what I was just a hard user. That's all it is, you know. And a hard user looks very similar. I use with a lot of hard users. The difference between them and me is that if they're given a sufficient reason to quit, i.e. like they get arrested or they get hurt really bad, almost die, or they get like a badass job or a husband, a wife, they have kids, they're able to put it down for that.
Spit that knowledge, bro. Spit that knowledge.
They're able to put it down for that. And as much as I don't want to fucking admit it or I didn't want to before, those things, somebody begging me to stop, anything, anybody I love, good opportunities, none of that shit. I can't stop for any of that shit. That's the biggest difference between them, you know. And for me, the real deal drug addict, alcoholic, you know, a spiritual experience, a complete psychic change is the only thing that, and I've dealt with this for a long time. And
what does that entail?
Describe
that. What does that entail, that psychic change, that spiritual experience?
Bro, it's like, you know, even when I was getting high, obviously I get high and I have spiritual experiences. They're cheap. I heard it described in a book as cheap grace by this lady one time. But that shit doesn't last. And it's not the same. Like I don't, there's no coincidences anymore. It's God. God is everything or nothing for me in my life today, 100%. And it's a wild thing to hear myself fucking say, to tell you the truth, dude. It really is.
Absolutely.
It's connection, dude. I'm connected to something, and I'm not here to tell you what it is. All I know is that it is. It is.
It is.
I don't know. You explained it like before recovery. You know, you had these crazy coincidences that would happen in your life, or from my own experience, I would have these crazy coincidences that would happen, and I'd be like, "Wow, that was fucking dope. Like, what was that exactly? How'd that happen?" You know, and I knew I wanted to experience that more. Which, like I said, from today, I do not see that as a coincidence whatsoever. And I didn't think there's any way that could actually amplify by getting sober and everything. But it 100% does. I'm connected to a power greater than myself, you know, way greater than myself. And I'm able to reach out to it and use it for guidance, strength, you know, almost whatever it is that I need. It's a wild deal. But I'm glad to be on the side of it right now, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, what are some of the consequences you had to face because of your alcoholism, drug addiction?
Are you laughing at me? Oh, bro. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, can we count going to rehab as a consequence? Kind of.
Yeah, all that.
Yo, I mean, I've been arrested 12+ times for sure. I've been on paper, you know, obviously it's cost me a lot of money. You know, I've wrecked cars. I've been to treatment. I've been to 7 total inpatients that I actually like made it through all the way. Definitely more detoxes and stuff like that. The wrecks, you know, could have cost my life, you know, less than a year ago. One of the major ones that I dealt with, I like blew half my fucking hand off, bro, with a firework one time.
Wow.
2011. That's almost the same dude that you saw that we had in that picture, dude. He was definitely doing the same shit. That didn't stop me.
Living reckless. Wilding out.
That didn't stop me. It only, I mean, my addiction only amplified after that. I hadn't even got on the needle yet, you know, and I was in the hospital for 8 days, hooked up to Dilaudid drip, and I was hitting myself, you know, with it. And that's my first experience with like what it felt like to shoot an opiate up. I was already on the Oxycontin for sure.
What about the consequences with your family relations?
That was what I was coming to right after that. Yeah, even putting the hand in there and everything, every other consequence is not anywhere, it doesn't add up anywhere close to like the relationships that I have fucking squandered. You know, I was just a selfish piece of shit, dude. It's selfish and self-centeredness is rooted in my troubles, bro. Yeah, I mean, I have an older sister who I don't really even know anymore, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I mean, I know her, but I don't really, like, if I see her, it doesn't seem, it's not very genuine, you know, and that's because of me, bro. Honestly, I've been a drug addict and I don't blame her. Like, half the people in this thing don't understand what the fuck is going on. So definitely our families have a really freaking hard time with why is this person like this? Why do they do this? You know, my brother, you know, one time I literally tried, like, used him as a mule to like get drugs to me one time. Or I tried to. He figured it out, you know, and didn't drive his car, luckily. Relationships, not my family, but yeah, tons of friends or you know, like significant others, you know. So a lot of amends out there for me to make, bro.
Yeah, there's a process for all of that, right?
Yeah, there is. It's a beautiful process, though. I won't deny that. I used to not want to make all these amends, so like that would get me overwhelmed. Like, damn, I got to do all that. But my vision of it changed in treatment. I don't know. I had a weird like epiphany. I was like, man, I've never made amends, and I've never stayed sober.
Absolutely.
But I'm definitely doing it now. You know?
We want to jump from day one to making our amends. We want that instant gratification. We want forgiveness. We want that feeling of validation. We want forgiven. And there's a whole lot of work that happens before we get to the amends process.
Right. I was having trouble hearing you a little bit, but yeah, there's a lot of work before the amends process. And it says in the book, 10 or 20 years of drunkenness will make a skeptic out of anybody, you know, and that's 1,000% true. You know, I went to see my mom 4 or 5 months sober, and I kind of made a selfish decision to get a tattoo or something, and she thought I was high, dude. She's like, are you using it again? And I was like, oh, I'm not, I swear. But I understand that. In the same, like, repairing relationships is like with my brother, or you know, I understand. You know, I had a year sober before, 13 months. You know, and I'm just a couple months past that right now. So I'm right about that area where I fell off last time. So of course they're like, they don't know, but I know it's the action behind it and the way I behave. I'm doing it not through my words, but showing them with how I'm living.
That's
you know,
true.
And I can tell, you know, that it's different now, especially with my mom and dad for sure. I can tell. You know, Absolutely. It's a little more ease when I'm around. There's no bickering about anything, you know.
So you're an official member of the Bounce Back crew as well. You relapsed and you strung some days together, and now you have how much clean time?
I have 15 months, a little over 15 months right now.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Yes. But Higgy, I knew in the very beginning this time that it was way different than anything I had experienced before. You know, around 3 or 4 months, I knew it was way different. There was no obsessive thoughts about getting high. Like, that shit went away. The time I had 13 months, I had no solution, no God.
You had reservations, didn't you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for sure. I didn't feel it at the time, but I was definitely white knuckling that shit, dude. And it fell apart quick. You know, at 13 months sober, dead ass sober, I'm driving around Fort Worth looking for my dealer or any dealer I can find. At 13 months sober, dead ass sober. Like, that's the insanity. That's the insanity of the shit. When the way I act when I'm fucking sober.
Yeah, because we are the problem. We are the problem. So, what was your bottom like that made you come to this realization that drugs and alcohol were not the answer for you?
I mean, honestly, it was the treatment center that I went to. You know, I went the first time I went there, and I was there 5 days, and I hitchhiked off and went back, finished the program. But when I finished, I was running on self-will, you know, and I ultimately ended up getting high again for another 3 months. But I had a body full of heroin and a head full of AA, and that shit's not cool. But I knew like what they had taught me was correct, and it was just playing out in front of me. I can't say that it was anything. You know, I was living in the hood, Fort Worth and Stop 6, with a very sweet family that allowed me to live with them. You know, I had no car. I had no money. You know, every day was just get off work, walk down the street, pick up, buy candy, go home, shoot dope. Like that was it every day. But I can't say that it was any of those external things, man. It was internally. It was how I felt internally. And I've been at that position before. I've been at that position where I had my own house, own car, money in abundance, you know, whatever. And I was miserable. I remember telling my parents, like, I don't even want to live where I'm at. But from the outside and from what I could see, everything looked beautiful. But yeah, it's an internal condition. So it's how I'm feeling.
Inside job, bro. We talk about that God side. What was that like for you? You know, you just talked about having all the material things that you wanted or thought you wanted, and it didn't help you in any fact in any form in your life where you recovered.
No, whatsoever. I mean, I believe what I have right now is what I've been looking for the whole time in drugs and alcohol, 1000%. You know, and
hi, Bradley.
Yeah, it's God. It's connection with a higher power. Whatever you want to say. It's the wildest fucking thing to hear myself say that. You know, dude. Let me tell you a story real quick. Sometimes I would bring this up. I'll be in H&I's and I'll be saying this shit, and it sounds wild, but this program, like the way that I see it right now, it's like I'll ask people sometimes. I'll be like, who in here wants to see or experience like an otherworldly power or see something happen? You know, most everybody wants to see some shit like that. And I told them, I was like, yeah, me too. Like if I was to see like some aliens or a UFO, that would be some dope shit. I'd be about that. Like I want to see that or hear about that, you know? And one time I was sitting in this bar, Higgy, next to this guy, and we get to talking about like ancient aliens or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, I seen one of those bells. I saw it flying over Fort Worth one time. And I thought I heard something, and I turned around, and I thought I heard the door to the bar open, so I turned around, but nobody came in. He looked at me, he's like, did you hear that? I was like, so I moved away from this guy. I sat on the other side of the bar, got away from him, and he didn't try to chase me or be like, hey, you didn't believe me or nothing. So like, I think this guy was serious about what he was talking about. And I always want to hear some shit like that. And the second I hear it, I fucking dismiss it and didn't believe him, you know? And it's my same experience with this program. I've listened to people talk, their testimonies of like where their life has been, and I've shrugged it off like a lot of people, you know, and I was wrong. I was completely wrong. So that guy probably did see some aliens, and I didn't listen to his story.
Some supernatural stuff going on there. So what's the recovery like in your area of Texas?
It's bro, this is God's country down here, man. Right. Praise God. Praise God. Come on, somebody. Shout out to Trip, Philip Rodriguez. Yeah, there's some heavy hitters down here, man.
Chris Raymer's
yeah,
from that area, right?
What's that?
Chris Raymer, he's from that area.
Yes. Yep. I just came back from the Outpost. That's their place. They just reopened it today. But yeah, dude, this heavy solution down here. It's like it's a recovery city. I mean, to be just that's what it is. I can't go anywhere. Yeah, Kerrville, Texas. It's in the Hill Country. It's about an hour and 45 minutes south or west of Austin, southwest Austin.
Okay. I gotta come down.
It's a blessing. It's what I needed, bro. I didn't need to go back to a big city, at least not right off the bat. I needed to be surrounded by people like doing this deal day in and day out, and people who are failing to do it as well. Because that's the thing. That's one of the things that's helped me the most is I see these behaviors in people, and a couple of days later they're gone. They're high, like they're lying, they're being selfish, whatever it is, and we get to see that over and over, and God bless them, and I hope that they make it back. But at the same time, dude, it's a heavy reminder, and I get to see very clearly of where that takes me.
That's right. We've been there before. So, what's your life like today?
Man, I came down here in Kerrville with no money, no phone, no car. I felt like nobody, But since then, I know the possessions don't matter, but I definitely believe that God has given me that stuff. I'm in a house right now. It's my house that I live at, and that's how I have to live. That if I start taking credit for the stuff that God's given me, I'm headed the wrong direction, bro. Because my mind will take over, and before you know it, I'll be taking credit for my sobriety, whose responsibility that is not mine. I have people I can rely on. People rely on me.
Yeah.
In the midst of this Corona shit, I started a business, like a lawn service business, and when you're in a community of people in recovery, and nothing against the people that are not working it strongly, because I understand, I've been there, but when the ones that are about their program and really do it, then it shines in everybody's life. They know they can count on me. I know this guy, most yards, you know what I mean? Because there's a guy here who has a company, and he keeps giving me jobs because he's full, but he knows he can rely on me, to be a man, to show up as a man in recovery or a man of God, however you want to say it, and take care of these people correctly. It's the coolest shit I've ever been a part of.
That's right.
Definitely. But there's plenty of times where I did not see it that way. I didn't want anything to do with it. And then I see that in some sponsees or people that are new. I get it, I've been there, but I'm telling, if you're starting through the work, man, and you're doing it honestly and rigorously, like there's a guy used to tell me, dude, you're tiptoeing towards relief, bro. You're on your way there.
Who is Patty Ellis? Who's Patty Ellis?
That is my mom. That's my
Hi, Mom. Your son's doing amazing. She's
loving this. She was like, when are you gonna go live? What time are you gonna go live?
Welcome. So glad to have Randall here with me tonight. You're spitting a lot of knowledge, bro. Well, tell us about your music career. What type of music do you focus on? What is your method? Who is?
What is it?
First and foremost, who is Silas Botwin?
Man, Silas Botwin was an alias that I would use, like selling drugs. So I didn't give out my real name, and it was from the TV show Weeds.
That's my girlfriend.
But yeah, that's, on that. Also a stage name. That's also a stage name that I got asked. All right, I started to do battle rap 2013, I guess. And then they were like, "What's your rap name?" And I was like, "Silas Botwin."
Just off the dome, right?
Bro, I love rap. I love to rap. I love to tell stories or share my experience through music. It's a cool outlet, therapeutic thing that I definitely, give God the credit of giving me, even though it's years of sharpening stuff to kind of produce anything that someone might want to listen to.
Right.
But I don't have the opportunity to do that, dude. If I don't have this program, I'm not working, I'm not connected with God. I have zero opportunity to do that. I'll just be at the studio nodding out in the chair, or I'll have no voice to record with. But yeah, Silas Botwin. I did drop an album recently. It's called Soul Intentions. It's on all platforms.
Yes, you did.
There is a song on there that I did for my mom and dad too. It's pretty cool. It's made a few people cry, including me.
Hold on. I'm trying to copy the link out of iTunes to post in the comments.
Oh yeah. Do that. Stream it. You can stream it. You can stream it anywhere.
There it is.
Come what's up?
There it is. What's up, man? Who are you?
I'm his sponsee.
Nice. You're working with people too, bro.
Man, that's what we gotta do, man.
That's made all the difference in my life too. You know, working with other men, and I never really invested myself in it like that. You know, I finished. I was an AA thief. I worked the steps and then I bounced and did my own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't give back. It makes all the difference.
Yeah, 1,000%. Dude, he's young, but he's doing it. Like, you know, if there's something going on, he hits me up. We do work around it, and we get past it. You know, he went to the same place I went, and he went twice too. Good. So they beat it into his head too.
this is
that's what they say. There's a guy that works there. And he told me this ain't a rehab. This is a sponsor making factory, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
It's about ruining that experience of getting high, so you never want to do it again.
Yeah, they did. I was on the phone with like my counselor. She's a badass, man. And I was like, man, Sheila, I just need to go to a detox and then get back to Kerrville, man. She was like, no, I think you need to come back here.
Who's Kathy Merrick?
I had my last meal. What's that?
Kathy Merrick?
Yes. Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Thank you again for the bag. I just found the flashlight and it's super cool. Got it right here. Wow.
Janet McClanahan, she's from Texas as well. She's watching and sharing.
Hell yeah. Where are all my Texas people at? I can see a couple comments sometimes when it comes up, but that's all I can see.
Yeah, we need to
Can y'all
share this out.
Oh yeah, share this with recovery groups, man. There's tons of recovery groups out there.
I'm not able to share to recovery groups because I'm restricted.
Because you're what?
I'm restricted. Facebook jail. People report stuff. They just people trying to block us from starting to do hope. So, what insight can you give us? Do a little relapse prevention for anybody out there that may be on the fence about staying in recovery, you know, or relapsing, has relapsed, and help them find their way back.
I mean, I don't really think relapse is like a part of this. Relapse is definitely not a part of recovery for sure. It has been a part of my story, you know, but all those times I never had solution. I never had a mental defense against getting high, you know, getting drunk. Man, my advice is fucking surrender. Like that's anything I'm trying to control, I'm putting my hands on, it's gonna go to shit. Like it just is, and that's self-will run right. If I'm running on self-will, I'm gonna get high. But don't get me wrong, it's not like today I don't run on self-will sometimes. I do, and I get miserable. I see it as like this like chart, you know what I mean? It's like super spiritually fit, like miserable, delusional, lying, all the shit. And my life is just like, you know, like this. And I'm like, whoa, I gotta get back up here. You know what I mean? I don't have the obsession's completely gone. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, hey, if you want this, I'm not special. I'm not whatsoever. You know, I may be a different person, I have different skills, you know, from a different place or whatever. But when it comes to like this disease and being like the real deal thing, I'm not special. I just did what was asked. I did what was suggested. I did it honestly, thoroughly, and I surrendered. I did my best to give up everything to God, you know, or a higher power of my understanding. Because God threw me off for a long time. I didn't like.
Yeah.
Like that didn't make any sense to me. It's nothing. I can't see that. I don't know what that is. How's that gonna work? But Yeah, I was wrong.
Faith. Having faith. We sure put a lot of faith in the dope man and the drugs, didn't we?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
hadn't seen yet.
I had faith that wasn't going to kill me. I had faith that it was going to make me feel good. Yeah, that's some faith right there.
Right.
Or it just delusion.
So what's next for Randall? What are you going to do now? What's your life going to? What are you trying to do?
Man, I'm not trying to go anywhere right now because you got to meet Kai, and I've worked with a bunch of dudes down here, and not all of them, not very many of them stay sober. But it's taught to me that's the efforts business. You know what I mean? That if as long as I'm putting in effort to help people, then I'm gonna reap the benefits or the karma or whatever, however you want to see that of that. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be here for a while, Higgy. I don't know. I'd like to venture out. You know what I mean? It'd be dope to come there. That's in my soul, like in my heart, to like move around and see stuff. But it's hard to just abandon where I'm at right now because I know this is the front lines, right? Like that I'm on right now, and I can't just take off.
Well, you're always welcome to visit here. Anytime you want to, you're always welcome here. Anytime you want to come to visit.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to.
Very close to the beach right here.
You talked me into it.
You would like it here. So, what did it take you to slow down, to just trust the process? How torturous was that for you?
What did it take to slow down? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
To trust the process?
Yeah.
I mean, mainly after, in between my second and third stay at Brazos. You talking about consequences or like how I felt?
Yeah, all that.
I mean, before the first time I went, and I totaled 2 cars in a month and a half. I was in the same ER 2 days in a row. It was internally, man. I mean, I can see the look on my mom's face when she knows, like, she's about to leave. And as soon as she leaves, I'm taking off to go and pick up, I wish I could say that that's the stuff that did it, but it was internally. To really slow down and really, like, give it a shot was in between that first and second time that I went to that, the treatment center. Because they had taught me all that stuff. And then while I'm gone, I'm realizing that shit was all right. What they were teaching me was 1000% the way to do this, and I fucking blew it off and didn't take it seriously. And when I went back the second time there, they got crazy rules. Hey, like, you can't sit down when you smoke. You can only smoke in one section. They lock you out of your room all fucking day. And the next time I went back, I was different when I was there, at least. Not when I was there, at least. Once I left as well, I was like super square. I followed all the rules. I saw that how I behaved in there definitely transferred to when I left. It just snowballed and got way worse, So I tried to follow everything that was taught to me and soak it all up and apply it to my life.
You became willing, open-minded and willing.
Open-minded and willingness, yes.
That's important. That's important. You became willing to follow all the rules. Real quick, Pam wanted to know if you've ever gone to a meeting at the Basins. Can you read that?
I'm not exactly sure where that's at, Pam. Yeah, I can read it. Ask Randall if he's ever gone to an AA meeting at the Basins. I'm not really sure where the Basins is. Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay.
So I went in Dallas, Fort Worth, Dallas, and then down here. So I don't know where the Basins are.
Okay.
I will, though.
I will.
Turn the location on.
Let me see.
What?
I'm trying to think of where I want to go with the questioning. I think it's really important for younger people of your age group to know that they can put down alcohol and drugs and have a productive, happy, peaceful existence.
Yeah, dude. What brought me here was desperation. And I thought that was what it was about, was quitting shooting up dope. I knew I needed to be abstinent from everything. So I thought that's why I came here, was to get completely sober and stop using. But it's turned into so much more than that. It's about learning how to manage my whole life and maximize my potential. And there's no amount of time that gives me that. That's a misunderstood thing. You need to be in here somewhere for you sponsor people, or for me anyways. I know outside of a treatment center like the one I was at, it's going to take a while to get all that knowledge and apply it to your life and stuff. But the truth is, if you're honest about what you're doing and you really want it, I mean, we agree at the beginning of this, we're willing to go to any lengths for it. And unfortunately, a lot of people forget that pretty quick afterwards. As soon as things start to get tough. But yeah, if you have the capacity to be honest with yourself and do this thing rigorously, you're gonna have an experience. The obsession is going to be removed. It's gonna be the fuck gone. Like it's been over a year. 50. It's been 14 months since I'm a heroin addict, IV heroin addict, and it's been 14 months, 14 and a half probably since I've obsessed or had a legitimate thought about that's what I want to do, and going from where I was before, that never left my mind.
Right, it's always there's somewhere
thinking about that shit, So that's a miracle, dude. And I've never been
no reservations at all today. No reservations.
No, none, man. Zero. There's fleeting thoughts. We have fleeting thoughts. Things that remind us of our past, and it comes up, and it just goes through and it's gone. It's not something that sticks in my head. And that's because I have a mental defense, because I have a connection with a power, a power greater than myself, of my own understanding,
Well, you can tell that there's been a psychic change in you, your physical appearance, the joy in your face, the light in your eyes. When your mom popped up on there, just the look of just gratitude, great being grateful. They say a grateful heart will never have to pick up a drink or drug again. I believe that's the case.
It's a beautiful thing. I know. She's super proud, and it's cool to know that.
Your strength is awesome. Stay strong, Captain Carlisle.
Walk.
I think it's cool that you had your sponsee jump on there with you as well.
What's that?
So it's cool. I like you having your sponsee jump on for a second too.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's what it's about, And he's my friend, anyways. It's like my little brother. I talked to them about this shit at the beginning. I'm like, dude, we're in this shit together, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not here. He's held me accountable. Don't get me wrong, dude. He's held me accountable as well. I mean, we need that both ways. It's not any better than whatsoever.
It's not just walk. Not just talking the talk, it's walking the walk, and being open to the feedback.
Yeah, I told my sponsor one time, I was like, man, I think I'm too honest with these fools. And he's like, man, there ain't no such thing as too honest. I was like, all right then. And then that's the other thing, because you get somebody who's like on the spiritual hilltop and like nothing's bad in their life. They're just fucking cruising along. Everything's cool. It's hard to relate to somebody like that, man. So I in my own head, it kind of seems like, oh, you don't want to show weakness to these sponsees. You want them to think you're fucking solid, but it's a paradox, It's showing that I have weaknesses and I know how to get through it. Mm-hmm. That makes me way stronger than hiding that shit.
It's more than telling people how to get through a hard time. It's allowing people to see that you're human, that you have flaws, and how you get through it anyway.
Right.
Vicky Rose Key, so proud to know you. You inspire me every day.
Vicky's a beast, man. Vicky's got like 20 years.
Any closing thoughts before we get off here? Give us a hope.
And if you're, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you don't know how to do this thing, you know, you're still struggling. I stick by what I said earlier. You know, it doesn't take long. You know, 30 days. You get through this work. Honestly, 30 days. I mean, you get through it fast, man. You're going to. It says, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. Having had what is it? Having had a spiritual awakening as
a result of working these
result of these steps. This is what happens. You do it. It's what happens. It's up to you how quick you get through it.
Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of men and women have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, and have a life of purpose and destiny today.
Yeah, you can see it in my face, bro.
Absolutely.
You can't. I'm looking at me. You can tell. Like that's something different about that fool.
Something's different about that fool. Better about that guy. That guy. Night and day difference, brother. Night and day.
What's that?
Night and day, bro. Two different people right there.
We're not even talking about the beard. You can see this is a spirit.
Spirit.
Garbage.
So I seen you were putting a sound booth in your house.
Oh yeah.
Music.
Yeah, we're sitting in here right now. I got my Mac and the speakers and the booth over there in the closet.
So you
want to see it?
Yeah, I do. Of course I want to see it.
Okay. All right. I turn the light on in there so you can see it kind of good. I don't know if you can see. You know, I've got these Yamahas.
Yeah.
My ones are bad. They're bad work. You know.
Putting in work, bro.
In the closet. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah. Corona season was kind of a blessing for me, dude. It was a come up season for me.
Thank God.
And that's all glory to God.
and a result of working the steps, you know, taking leadership from people, you know, guidance from people that have been through it, just like you have. You are living proof that recovery is possible for anyone.
Yeah, 1,000% am. Like I said, I'm not.
A little more.
What is that fool doing, dude? He's like, yo, you want some ounces of weed, bro? I got you, man.
I got you.
The only thing legit about that dude is his necklace, man.
Well, I'm grateful.
Yeah, I'm not special, dude.
I'm grateful you took the time to jump on here with me, and you're an inspiration. You're doing things. You're living a life that you never thought that you would. You have peace and joy in your life, like real peace and joy. You look like you feel comfortable in your own skin. You have your own company. You're making music. It's on all the music platforms, and it's good. I like it.
Thank you.
You got your little skits in there. Before we leave, the skit that you put in there about your brother wrecking the four-wheeler into a stump. Tell that story and what the message behind it was.
I used to ride dirt bikes when I was a kid. We'd go. I raced dirt bikes, you know, and we'd go trail riding and stuff. And one day we switched bikes. I was riding the bigger one. My brother was riding the 60 that I usually ride. And there's like this wide trail that we're riding, dude. And somehow on this wide ass trail, hits a stump, whiskey throttles, and like throws himself around this tree, you know. And my dad told him afterwards, he's explaining to him, he's like, the reason you hit that stump is because you were focusing on it. Like you were staring at it while you were riding, you know. And I just was thinking about that one day. I was like, damn, that's a life lesson right there. You know, I have all these goals and things I aspire to be or do in life, but there's all these, there's obstacles, there's fear, there's anxiety, there's people who don't believe in you and shit like that. And if I'm focusing on those things, then that's what I'm going to hit, So yeah,
on your mother dream. Right?
Yeah, focus on your mother dreams. Yeah, or your goals. Yeah. It's
Sorry for the
taught me some
adult
cool
language.
stuff, dude, without knowing he was teaching me cool stuff. I used to like, huh?
I just apologize for our adult language.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm horrible, man. I try to do my best.
Me too. You did great. You did great.
I didn't cuss that much or what?
Yeah, you
All right.
cussed a little bit. It's all right.
Sorry
All right.
for the children. It's uncut. Recovery uncut.
Recovery uncut. It's like we liked our dough.
I want to take time to thank you too. I really appreciate having me on. It's a blessing to be on here and show people what can happen. If you just have the capacity to be honest.
Yeah. Get rigorously gut-wrenchingly.
Try something different. You tried everything else, bro.
Yep. Life is good today. Life is good without drugs and alcohol.
Yes, and it becomes so much more.
Well, we're destined to become the men we were supposed to always be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm back on path for sure. Took me a long ass time. It took a long ass detour for sure.
Yeah, I'm so glad you made it back there. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Silas Botwin, aka Randall Ellis, my friend. I love you, dude. So
good night.
Hey, good night,
Are we
everybody.
off?
Yeah, not yet.
We're still on.
We're still on. I'm looking through the comments. Becky Haskett, follow God or be led by the devil. How many times and how many signs till you saw the light? So glad you found the right path. Praise be to God, Aunt Becky. Randall
Yeah,
Ellis.
that's my aunt.
Randall Ellis. That stuff came out of nowhere. Thank you both for sharing the message.
I'll never forget that for as long as I live.
The truth sets
I
us
can
free.
see him I can still see it. His body was wrapped around the tree.
Patty Ellis, your son's doing amazing. He's truly an inspiration for all of us. Thank you, Randall, for being here. Love you all.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a
You guys
good
have
night.
a wonderful night.